Well, the Diamondbacks really know how to make an 8-0 lead exciting, don't they? We are talking about Michael Soroka's immaculate inning and the bullpen trying to waste it, and we're doing it right now. Thompson off of that thumbnail. Welcome into the PHNX Dbacks podcast, brought to you by our friends at Circle K, live from Studio K. It is the PHNX Dbacks show. I am your mayor, occasionally known as Derek Montilla. Thrilled to be joined by you guys. Thrilled to be joined by Danielle, our official photog of the sports world. And we also got our guy Damon Dog on the ones and twos tonight. Thrilled to have you guys here and thrilled to be talking about an actual Arizona Diamondbacks victory. As much as they tried to throw it away and give it away, the Diamondbacks win tonight's game over the Detroit Tigers by a score of 9-6. And I would like to point out Damon was in fact wrong on the pregame show. Not that that matters much. What do you got? Oh my God, you're right. What are we doing?
Damon's sleeping on the job.
Oh my God. No, he's not sleeping on the job. We're all sleeping on the job. Are we out of batteries? That is the reason why we started 0-3. That is the reason. Someone stole the batteries out of there, use it for their stupid recorder or whatever. I know it because these guys are a bunch of children around here. They take the batteries out of our cactus light, but maybe the cactus light doesn't deserve to come on, because this one.
I have never been happier to not be a producer here anymore.
Yeah, no,
as I am right now.
Yeah. And Kellen's right there, Damon. We also have the wrong score bug up because we are talking about the 4-5. Get that off my screen. But welcome in, of course, the true score of this game
coming
was 9-6.
in hot, baby.
Dbacks. I guess the big story of this game is that the Dbacks were up at one point by a score of 8-0. In what was appearing to be a dominant victory over Detroit, and one in which Michael Soroka absolutely shoved. Soroka became just the fourth pitcher in Diamondbacks history to toss an immaculate inning. He joins Byung-Hyun Kim, Randy Johnson, and Wade Miley, who was the last one to do it on October 1st, 2012. He also struck out 10 in his D-backs debut, and he now has the most strikeouts for a debuting starting pitcher in franchise history, moving one over Randy Johnson, who threw 9 strikeouts in his debut back in 1999. So a dominant performance tonight from Soroka, although it wasn't very long.
Yeah,
he did throw a lot of pitches, though.
Yes. Yeah. When you strike out 10 in 5 innings, your pitch count's not going to be great.
Gonna throw a lot of pitches.
Yeah, Damon and I were talking about before the show, not exactly efficient necessarily.
Yeah.
But when you throw like him, when you throw like he did today, I mean, efficiency is the least of your worries, honestly.
Yeah.
5 innings, no runs, 10 strikeouts. I mean, what more do you want, man?
I mean, it was an impressive performance. The only thing, like you said, maybe one more inning would have made it feel so much more dominant. But overall, still 5 innings. I mean, I think what the Diamondbacks need right now is less bullpen.
Yes.
And we saw that they need less bullpen.
Why would you say that?
Yeah. But of course, we got so much more than just that. I mean, this game really was an offensive onslaught here from the Diamondbacks. And it started early. They put up 2 runs in the first inning, 3 runs in the second, 3 more in the 5th, another run in the 7th that ended up feeling very, very important. Thanks to Vargy and his solo home run. Damon has some apologies that he has to make in regards to that as well. It's not a great night for him. I took a picture with Perdomo in the elevator. He's very angry about that. There are a lot of things not going on. But I guess the bad here, obviously, is that the Diamondbacks end up, having this game that was a blowout, was a rout, coming back, and being a close game. But before we talk too much about the pitching, we do have to talk about this amazing offensive output tonight from the Diamondbacks. In fact, from kind of both teams early on. I mean, even though the Tigers didn't put up any runs through the first 3 innings, there was only 1 ground ball out.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
One or two.
Wild.
One for each team. Because
Yes.
I think Gabby hit into a double play, and I think there was one by the Tigers as well. But, I mean, the game starts off with Ketel Marte with a leadoff single, and then he's immediately brought home by Corbin Carroll on an RBI triple. Corbin is the fastest man on the planet. He even said after the game that he doesn't even hear the crowd or anything when he's running that fast. So
Which is too bad because, man, there's nothing like that sound.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
electric.
So great to be back.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's an electric crowd tonight there at Chase Field, and I mean it was close to 50,000 people. They had the fourth highest 50-50 raffle in team history. So just a big night. A lot of people at the ballpark. A lot of noise being made, and it was all very, very cool. And again, we have some video and some sound here from the clubhouse, but the Diamondbacks, again, their offense put it up. They did the thing. Perdomo walked in the first. Gabriel Moreno did ground out in a force out, but that did score Corbin Carroll. That made it a 2-0 game. And then, you just kind of got contributions offensively from all over the place. In fact, Perdomo was one of the only players that didn't get a hit tonight. He did get a walk, though, and extends his on-base streak now to, I believe, 20 games. So he's still working that on-base streak. It is one of the longest in Major League Baseball history. I don't know what Ohtani did tonight, if his ended, but I do know that Perdomo's should still be going on. So, it's up to 21 games now with tonight's edition. So that dates back to September 9th of 2025. Just a lot of offense, though, in this game. I mean, again, even Nolan Arenado got himself a hit. He has not had very many of those. He was 1 for 5 tonight with a run scored.
He did hit the ball hard today.
He did hit the ball hard a couple of times. Absolutely. Yeah, that's for sure. He seemed a bit more confident, and he seemed a bit more competent there in the box overall. But the Diamondbacks, again, they tack on 3 runs in the 5th inning. That was amazing to see, and that was with Corbin Carroll's big home run there. Diamondbacks get that home run from Corbin Carroll, and they increase their lead eventually up to 8-0, only for Joe Ross and Ryan Thompson to have one of the worst innings I've ever seen a bullpen have.
Wasn't great.
And then things got close. But here again, Corbin Carroll ends up going 2 for 4. He's just 1 single and 1 double short of the cycle. You also had Gabby Moreno going 2 for 4 with an RBI, a walk, and a run scored. That was very good to see. And Gabby was hitting the ball really hard as well.
Yes, hitting the ball like you expect Gabby to hit. He had the double down the right field line. He had a ball through the 4.5 hole, 5.5 hole, I should say, over on the left side. Just a very typical Gabby Moreno day. Just all around, really, really encouraging offensively for sure. Nolan Arenado put the ball in play hard a couple times. Really hit the ball on the nose in his first at bat there. Just really, really, really encouraging. Can't gloss over Ildemaro Vargas going 2 for 4. This is Dbacks baseball, man. Yeah. This is exactly what you expect. This is why I was on opening day in LA. Everybody's gloom and doom. Like, guys, this is what the offense is going to be. This is how they're going to be all season. They're going to grind. They're going to put together innings. They're going to score a lot of runs. And that's what they did today. It was really great to see.
Also, speaking of Ildemaro Vargas, big home run there, like I said, late. The Tigers made a pretty significant comeback, cut the lead to 2 runs, and you had Vargy come in and hit a solo home run there in the 7th inning. And I think more than anything, that top of the 7th inning was such a disaster for this team that you just really don't know where momentum was going to take you after that. And again, having Vargas come out and extend that lead to 3 runs seemed to be huge, and it also seemed to be the thing that kind of put, whatever the hell was going on here to rest, right? But a lot of it had to do with, Torey trying to, with a big lead, save his bullpen, right? And I know that there's a lot of questions about why they let it get this out of control, and obviously we'll discuss that. But Jordan Lawler, he also had himself a good night. 2 for 3, a run scored, an RBI, a walk for Jordan Lawler. And Torey credited Lawler, for that, play where he made it into second base, and they reviewed it and overturned the call as the biggest moment in the game. He really did feel like that more than anything was Diamondbacks baseball, that ability to get in there before, the throw and be safe there in a critical moment was huge. It kept the inning going, and the Diamondbacks ended up getting, I believe they ended up getting 1 more run there from that instance.
Yeah, and to me, that was also we were talking about, Damon and I were talking about this before the show as well. That was the biggest play of the game for me, even before Torey mentioned it. Again, Dbacks baseball really running out a routine ground ball. I think most teams probably would have just phoned it in. Ended up being a huge run in the game. Bases loaded, 2 outs the very next inning, I think it was, right? In the 7th, you just never know when a run like that is going to be huge. I want to address the comments from both Ryan and who was it? AZ Native 97. The replay, the crowd invested in the replay, chanting safe was
never seen that
one of the
before in my
best
life.
things I have ever
I've
seen in my
never seen
entire
that.
life.
Yeah.
Dbacks fans, I'm going to look directly in the camera. Dbacks fans, please make that a thing. That was phenomenal.
Just in general.
Just chant it for please. I'm begging you, for every single replay, chant what we want the call to be.
I don't hate that.
It was phenomenal.
But
it also
felt like the audience and the crowd there knew ball, right? Like
Yes.
it was like
It was a
everybody in the
phenomenal
stadium
crowd.
knew that it was
phenomenal
safe.
crowd.
And
today.
it started from the beginning. It just kind of gave you chills to see all of those opening day ceremonies, the flyover, the anthem played on a clarinet, by the way.
Yeah.
Which was touching to me personally.
I cried when they played the roof opening music. I was bawling my eyes out. It was embarrassing. It was great.
I mean, it was all like it was real special. It's our place. It's like Damon said, it's an airplane hangar, but it's our airplane hangar.
Damn it.
And when we get to take the roof off and we get the jets flying over and we have everything
It's
open.
emotional.
It's
That's
emotional.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, but no, absolutely.
And they played the electrical shock, the whole man, you're a real one if you remember that way back in the day. The electrical shock buildup.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
The second I heard the electrical shock, I started crying, just bawling. That's Dbacks baseball, man. That's what it's all about. It was just such a great crowd. Like, I cannot, like, the safe is really what got me. Like, this is a baseball crowd. You get to an opening day crowd, and sometimes it's just like a bunch of people that want to be there, right? It's fun. Opening day.
Sure.
We'll go to one game
It's
a
a
year.
vibe. Yeah.
It's a vibe. This was a ball crowd. It was phenomenal.
Yeah. And I mean, again, it was
Felt like playoff baseball. Honestly, it really felt like playoff baseball for a little bit.
It did. And it was a packed crowd, and it was a very pro Diamondbacks crowd, which is something I think they needed. You know, like this franchise, unfortunately, just based on the way that we are made up here in this city, is always has to deal with that opposing fan base. It's not just the transplants that come from a different city. It's the fact that for years and years and years, we were just the Cactus League, state. And a lot of people have their allegiance to teams that simply are in their neighborhood or simply that they just rooted for because we didn't used to have.
I was a Cubs fan before the D-backs came around.
I mean,
because I lived right down the street from Hohokam Park, right?
And there's that, and the fact that like here in the Valley, right, we had the TBS Superstation and we had the WGN.
Yeah.
So we got games from Wrigley Field here live on TV here before we ever even had a team. It makes sense, so I don't ever fault the fact that we're just like this here. But I do know that it means a tremendous amount to the players. I know it means a tremendous amount to Torey. We heard them all address it after the game, and they kept talking about, how electric this crowd was here tonight. So it definitely felt like the Diamondbacks, got exactly what they needed here after getting swept by the Dodgers and coming in here. They got a huge offensive output. They got a great starting performance, and they were reminded that their bullpen is bad, and that, again, even in a route like this, even in a game where they had, an 8-0 lead, they still, needed to, I guess, play the game a little more carefully. And again, I understand what Torey was trying to go for here. This bullpen, they've already used 6 relievers multiple times.
Loizaga went multiple innings back-to-back games.
Ryan Thompson also pitched in multiple games. He's pitched in 3 out of the 4 games this season, right? So, I mean, we're already getting to the point where the arms that Torey can count on reliably are getting taxed. And, he's using entirely too many relievers. You hope that, who cares if Ross gets dinged up there, right? But what you didn't want was this
for the go-ahead run to it.
Not to mention that it just turned into a whole catastrophe with Ryan Thompson coming in and the box and everything like that. So, but we'll get to all that. We want to first hear though from Torey in regards to his opening statements after this win, because I'm sure this took a big load off of his shoulders after losing those first 3 games to start the season.
And for the fans, it was a great atmosphere, a great win, in front of some incredible fans that were extremely energized and just pushing us the whole night. So I was proud of the way we fought. We had a chance to have things really reverse on us, but the guys just drew a line in the sand and said, we're going to find a way to win this baseball game, and I was really proud of them. Started with Michael Soroka, 5 scoreless, an immaculate inning. I think that's the first time I've ever seen one up close and personal. And he really started dial it in later in his outing. Maybe it was a little bit too amped up, but did a really nice job of making pitches when he had to. It was a full mixture of pitches, and offensively we just got going early. I was very curious about how this team would respond in the first 5 innings, and they addressed all my concerns. I thought the most powerful play of the entire night, you might think it was Corbin's home run and triple, where I feel like we really made a statement, was that hustle play by Jordan Lawler. That's who we are. That defines exactly what we do. We hustled into second base, got us an extra point. And those are the little things. We win inches all over the place because we do things right, and they add up to big things. But specifically on Corbin, the home run, the triple, 4 RBIs, was a great night for him, a little bit of a breakout. And piece by piece, I know he's going to answer a lot of the questions for you guys. Is his power back? Am I worried? The answer is no when I see things like this, and I know what he's capable of doing. But Lawler with a couple hits, Moreno all over the baseball. We gotta eliminate that one bad inning. It's happened a couple times to us in LA, and we're gonna figure that out. And when we do, we're gonna get on some really nice runs.
I think what's frustrating about it is how many different pitchers it's already been that have given up that big inning.
Yeah.
Right? You already have Juan Murillo, who was practically perfect during Cactus League play, blow it. You had Clark, who was the other guy that was really good during spring training that blew it. And now tonight you had, a combination of Joe Ross and Ryan Thompson. And Joe Ross hasn't looked strong. So I imagine unless he can turn things around, he might not be a member of this team for too much longer. But I mean,
Danielle already cut him before you got in here, by the way.
Listen,
Danielle was won't be on the team for very long.
I didn't go that far.
TFA is what we're looking at.
Listen, I was happy to hear it because I need someone to match my energy from time to time because I'm sick.
Yeah.
I'm sick
Damon's
of
sick of me
people.
coming in here and defending guys.
Well, the Dodgers are so likable and
whoa,
tiny fantasy
Derek
owner.
has to
chill out over there.
Derek has to always find a way to be like, well, he's a good guy actually, and a father. By the way, you're talking about a father.
What is wrong with being a dad?
Nothing. Go be a dad, not in Arizona, for another franchise.
Oh my God! But of course,
Ross dress for less, as our guy Gambo called him.
Hey! I told Gambo you like that one, and then we high fived over that, and I sent you a picture. But
if you're looking for someone to not defend the guys, you got the wrong 2 people on the show.
Yeah, that's right. Well, at least those.
That's
two
why
people.
I'm back
That's
here.
why he stays over there. But Abner's not wrong. Please, Brandon Garcia, please save us and come shove. You want to know something crazy? The Tigers, they had 2 left-handers in their bullpen. What? I don't even know how that works. But
Imagine.
Anyway, getting the Vargas home run, huge in this moment. I mean, it shouldn't have been. It should have been a drop in the bucket for a huge offensive night, a night that really got their offense moving in the right direction after struggling in Los Angeles the way they did. But instead, that Vargas home run was kind of a lifesaver here for the Diamondbacks, and Torey thought the same. This is what Torey had to say.
Absolutely. So I don't want to dismiss that. That was a quality. Vargas had 2 hits today too, right? So all over the baseball from both sides of the plate. But we had a little bit of an exhale. We got a quick run there. It was a great swing, and it was a very, very critical moment. This is a game of runs. This is a game of stopping momentum. This is gaining momentum, and I think he gave us a little push forward. That was a big moment for us for sure.
Well, of course, we felt that. We definitely felt that because there was a gigantic sigh of relief in that stadium. And again, that was another thing that was great about the crowd was us all going through it together. Don't get me wrong. There were some Tigers fans there that were making some noise when they started coming back in that 7th inning. But my God, you could just hear the desperation and sadness from an exasperated crowd here watching this whole thing go down. But of course, we might just have to do a double-headed king snake tonight, which we don't do around here often, but tonight's game might call for it. So maybe the first guy that deserves it is the guy, the machine, Corbin Carroll, who had himself a hell of a night for this team. He was, of course, had everything the Diamondbacks needed offensively, basically. Got them going, got them started, had those big extra base hits, 2 for 4 tonight, 4 RBI, a walk, a home run, a triple, a stolen base. He did it all. He did it all. And Corbin Carroll, again, continues to amaze, I think, everybody, right? Like, we're just so used to it. But I was even going to ask Torey, like, I was going to say to Torey, how many times have I asked you in like the last year, does Corbin Carroll ever cease to amaze you? You know, and the answer is always no. He never ceases to amaze him with everything that he's able to do. I think this above everything, though, is just goes to show that Corbin, like, he's not normal.
No.
He's just so ahead of schedule on everything. He's so good at what he does. And again, he talked after the game a little bit about, you know, his swing and, you know, how he feels. Apparently, like this, it sounded like today was one of the first days that he's actually felt pretty good. This is what Corbin had to say after the game about his swing and about the way he feels.
I feel good. I felt really good today. Didn't feel very good before that. So we'll see how we wake up tomorrow.
That's more of a
I thought I've been on the right track for the last couple of days in terms of just what I've been looking at in my swing and what I want to fix. Just felt like my hands were getting a little too far away from my body, a little bit more uncontrolled and a little bit more like loading with my hands as opposed to loading with my body. And so thought I did a nice job of adjusting. You know, the last game of LA was a little closer to what I wanted, and then today it felt like it clicked. Had a really good session in the cage, and then you know, was able to take that over to the game.
Sean really liked. I'm not gonna read his chat, but Sean really liked it. He used certain words that made me really feel like you really like that two-handed swing that he put on. But yes, I mean, it was great to see. It's great to see because, you know, Corbin's, you know, had all these weird swinging injuries, changes, things impacting his swing, injuries mostly impacting his swing, right? But, you know, again, he's had to make a lot of mechanical changes, a lot of corrections to his swing. He went from having the flattest swing plane in baseball to essentially having the highest percentage of swings that were perfect last year. Like, it's just amazing what he can do. And he's done this all with injuries, shoulder injuries, changing everything. You know, it's amazing.
Yeah,
He's
and you
amazing.
don't get that level of thoughtfulness from young players like him. We forget he is a very young player still.
Yeah.
You don't get that level of thoughtfulness. You don't get that level of self-reflection that you get from Corbin.
That's very fair.
He reminds me a lot of Devin Booker in the sense that we just kind of take him for granted.
Yeah.
You watch a Suns game.
He's right up there.
Book's dropping 25. He's dropping 30 again. Yeah, that's just kind of what he does. Oh yeah, Corbin hit another triple. He had another home run today. It's what he does, and it's again, just like he made a really nice play out in right field. Damon, we were talking about expected batting average. He took away a hit early on in the game, and one of the very sketchy bend but don't break innings early on in the game for Soroka, and he's Corbin Carroll, man. That's just what he does, and it's just so impressive.
Alec Thomas also had some incredible plays out there in center field. Maybe not incredible, but again,
his sliding play was incredible.
They're all incredible because he makes them kind of look so effortless.
Yeah,
right?
he does.
It's crazy.
The Alec Thomas catch, I just sat there and I was just like shaking my head. Like, of course, like there was never a doubt. Like I knew he was always going to get there.
Yeah. Well, of course, we're going to take a quick break. I did want to remind you guys, though, this is still opening day week. Today is opening day for us, our home opener, which means you can get our opening day deal over at PHNX. Join us, become a diehard, get yourself a year for just $36. That's $44 off, 55% off our regular price. You get one of these amazing shirts or hats of your choice from our locker. And man, I love a lot of these. That new Snakes logo, That's hot. That's hot. Shout out to Eric for that one. You also get access to our Discord lounge, which is the best place to be a diehard member, best place to be an Arizona fan. You get 20% off merchandise and events, and you get access to our diehard only articles by myself and by Alex D'Agostino. So make sure to join today. You can check it out over at gophnx.com/intro and become part of our family right now. Like I said, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of this break, we're going to talk about the pitching, both the good and the bad. Michael Soroka making a historic start for this team, and the bullpen trying to historically blow it in a way that would have made me march out of Chase Field before I even saw the 8th inning. And I was this close to that. It was very hot in there too, so there's that. But we're going to take a quick break. And don't you guys go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondback Show. Well, shout out to APS. I am telling you, it's hot. It's hot everywhere. It's not just at Chase Field, though. It's very hot there. But APS, they need to help those guys out at Chase Field because we need air, and we all need to be cool during the summer. We also know that can cost you some money, especially an unpredictable amount of money. And that's the thing that makes our energy bills so tough in this state during the summer months. We don't know how hot things are going to get. We have no control over it. And at the end of the month, we just get to find out a surprise about how much our energy bill is. Well, APS wants to help you budget your billing with their new budget plan. You can basically take an average over your year, and you can have that broken up over a 12-month period of time so that you know exactly what you will be paying each and every month with no surprises at all when those June and July months come around. And of course, this can also help our friends up north as well. I know it's hot down here in the valley, but it can get very cold up there. So of course, budget billing can also help during the winter time for those northern cities. Make sure you check out all the options because again, paying about the same month every single month gets you a predictable payment, helping you plan and helping you save for whatever you need to save money for. Find all your options to manage your bill at aps.com/let's talk. And of course, the Window Depot, they want to help you get started on your next project. And it doesn't matter what it is. Windows, that's a great thing to replace in your house, by the way, especially with the heat. Those two things go hand in hand to make sure you keep your cool air in and the hot air out with some new windows. But they don't do just windows. They got cabinets, countertops, sinks, whatever you're looking for, they got you covered at the Window Depot. And they got you covered with not only quantity of in-stock inventory, but also with prices. It's the reason why contractors love the Window Depot. Unbeatable prices, and of course, they always have everything they need in stock. Also, no membership fee is required for us or for contractors, so make sure you stop in today, get everything you need. And in fact, if you need help starting, they even have in-house designers that can help you get started on your next project, and they are completely free. And again, like me, I need that help. I need someone to focus me. So shout out to the Window Depot. Go check out everything they have to offer at their website. Visit thewindowdepot.com and get started on your next project right now.
You like that new Window Depot, a little lower third there.
Yeah, that's pretty
They just
hot.
want to make clear that they're a
That's
proud
pretty
partner
hot.
of the Arizona
Proud partner
Diamondbacks.
of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Just in case you were wondering.
Just like we are. Well, we're not really, but
Kinda.
we're kinda.
In
Partners
a weird
in a way.
Partners in a way.
I don't know if they know that we're partners, but
Yeah.
we're partners.
Yeah, no, we are. I call it a symbiotic relationship. They say it's...
They say who?
They say, Derek, what?
I call
I've
it a
never heard of
marriage, and they say, I've never heard of Damon before.
Not one day in my entire life have I ever heard of Damon, but I have heard of Michael Soroka, and he was very good tonight. Of course, Michael Soroka making history. 10 strikeouts is the most for a starting pitcher making their debut in this franchise. As I said earlier, Randy Johnson had 9K. He's a loser, right? Just 9K. Come on. You can get double digits. Speaking of Randy, he was in the house.
He was there. Got a huge ovation.
And he needs to be there every game now.
He is,
Road games, home games, it doesn't matter.
He is
Randy
there
needs to be
a lot. They just don't show him.
It's kind of wild, though, to think of Randy Johnson being present to watch Michael Soroka.
To do what Soroka did, yeah.
Immaculate inning, breaking his record of the most strikeouts for a debuting pitcher. Like, it's
he
just
does
amazing.
have to show up to every game now.
Yeah, he does. And his wife, too, because they looked adorable together, and I was thrilled to see them. But Torey discussed the importance of Michael Soroka tonight and everything he did in his debut. This is what Torey had to say.
I saw that on the board, so those are little things that I don't know, and I didn't even know it was an immaculate inning until the pitching coach turned to me and said, that was unbelievable. Did you see that? So I get kind of locked in and I don't see the bigger picture sometimes, but as I look back on it, 10 strikeouts, no runs, 5 innings, it was a solid outing for him. And to be honest with you, I think there's more in there. So 10 punches is a lot. And when you do it in your debut in front of new fans, you're going to have a lot of really new supportive fans coming at you real quick. So that's what we all need that here.
He's not wrong.
We all need that.
There are people already looking to buy a Michael Soroka jersey right now as we speak, and rightfully so, because he was incredible.
You think Torey's thinking to himself right there, like, we could use a couple pitchers this fan base likes, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I will say this. Eduardo Rodriguez got an amazing ovation.
Huge ovation. That was
when
awesome.
they did the lineup, and they did all the guys that weren't in tonight's game. They didn't get the pyro. They didn't get the. I mean, it was some little league level pyro. There was big pyro in the outfield, which kind of matched it, made it cooler. But there's some independent pro wrestling pyro right there as the guys were coming out.
Justin Martinez got a big applause too.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I mean,
also,
everybody else kind of you expected to, but you're right. Justin Martinez got a big applause. AJ Puck, nobody cared about. And that was I was kind of sad about that. But regardless, Michael Soroka, everybody cares about now, and we want to hear from him. Here's what Michael Soroka had to say about making his debut tonight.
Yeah, again, it's special. I think the best part was being able to put up zeros after we put up a bunch on the board. I think that was the goal. Strikeouts added up, and I think obviously it's a good thing. I wouldn't sit here and deny that, but again, I think there was a lot early on. It was just kind of in and out of the zone a little bit. Saw some long counts, still had some traffic, and Gabby and I worked really well together, and the pitching coaches in the dugout, we had a good plan and put things together and just finished our pitches when we needed to. I think a lot of it goes back to the breaking ball just being competitive in and barely out of the zone.
Ryan's pointing out the Pavin also got a big ovation. That wasn't actually the entire crowd. That was just Michael Rokicki screaming and making all that noise all by himself. It's freaking wild. It's wild.
And half of the noise he was making was just to spite me.
Yeah, it was just to rub it in David's face. But I think everybody was impressed, with Soroka tonight. Corbin actually was asked about what it was like watching Soroka do what he did. This is what Corbin had to say about Michael's night.
Yeah, very, very impressed. I remember facing him last year and thinking like, damn, like pretty good breaking ball. And I thought he pitched really well off that tonight, and then did a good job of just filling up the zone and using all his pitches.
Thompson. And obviously, he's right. Like Michael Soroka is a guy that has had great stuff in the past, but he also addressed tonight how he kind of had to like adapt throughout his career and kind of change what he was doing. He said at one point he wasn't pitching to results as much. He was just trying to transform himself, not letting the results impact him, but trying to get to this place where he is at now. And now we still remains to be seen if he can do this over a consistent stretch of 2 or 3 starts. But if he does that, it's going to give the Diamondbacks a very, very difficult decision to make here when Merrill Kelly returns. One that Torey didn't even want to touch. Torey was like, I don't want any part of that question, because right now you can't worry about that. Like you feel like things will work themselves out, but again, I mean, it's a good problem to have. It's not if everybody is pitching so well that you don't know who to move or what moves to make in order for you to just have a 5-man starting rotation, then that's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
and I mean,
it's the best problem to have. It's
and again, adding one of those guys to the pen, even though they'll hate it very much, might be that thing that could help the pen kind of move a little bit closer to being, something that's serviceable versus what we've seen.
Absolutely, I think of look back on the really great bullpens of Dbacks history. We had, Josh Colementor is the long guy, right?
Yeah.
The guy who, if a guy doesn't go deep into an outing, you have a guy that can pick it up like that. I look back at Ryan Nelson in the World Series in 23, where he went 5 innings, I think, and kept the Dbacks in the team. What I really want to talk about is pitch selection here for Michael Soroka.
Oh yeah, no, I mean
there was not a single comfortable swing on a ball aside from the double on the off of the home run porch, which Dbacks outfield defense somehow managed to keep from scoring.
Yeah.
I want to let's talk about the Immaculate inning here. Okay.
Oh,
so
for sure.
So first Javier Baez.
The slurve.
Sinker. Strike 1. Swerve. Strike 2 or strike 3. Next batter, Kerry Carpenter. Swerve. That's 6 in a row, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 in a row. And then cutter, sinker, fast. What are you supposed to do with that?
And everything's landing in the zone, and everything's landing.
The Tigers had absolutely no clue what was coming because there were multiple times, at least off the top of my head, I'm looking it up here, but trying to count on the fly. There was at least 5 or 6 times off the top of my head where Michael Soroka tripled up, quadrupled up on the swerve, and what that does to a hitter. I mean, you see it in the results, right? 10 strikeouts. He had, let's see, I had it up here.
He had 21 whiffs tonight. He had
21 whiffs.
48% of his pitches thrown tonight were slurves.
And 5 strikeouts on the swerve, and then 4 were the 4-seam fastball. When you're looking one pitch that tops out at 95, and you just keep getting that the swerve, it's good luck, man. Good luck.
No, and I mean, I think that the one thing is that pitchers don't necessarily attack. It's something that we've seen the Diamondbacks talk about with all of their pitching staff. They try to be too fine. They're trying to pitch on the edges. They're trying to really just fool batters instead of challenging batters. And it felt like, especially in that Immaculate inning, that's exactly what he did. He challenged batters. He went after them. And batters were just kind of sitting there with their bats on their shoulder, expecting it not to be that, right? So
he's going to come with a fastball at some point.
Yeah, he has to, and he never did.
He never did.
Never did, and that's the reason why that Immaculate inning went the way it did.
And then there was a really interesting at bat I saw in the 4th inning. We had cutter, swerve, strikeout, right? Next batter, nothing but fastballs.
And it was
nothing but fastballs against Parker Meadows.
And it's ball,
right?
Yeah.
So go with what you know. Go with what's working, man. It was a pitch selection masterclass, I thought.
It really was. And I think there was also some confidence there. I feel like the offense that the Diamondbacks put up early gave him that confidence to not have to be perfect. And he discussed that. He talked about not needing to be perfect a few times. And in fact, he brought up the Immaculate inning. We asked him about it. Here's what he had to say about his performance there.
The Immaculate inning, was that your first one ever? And
yeah, it was definitely in pro ball. It was my first one ever. It was pretty special. Obviously, I think I've talked to you guys about, not putting too much stock in results, but I think that's one that's worth celebrating. I think it's something I wasn't really aware of till the last pitch. And Gleyber is a good hitter. He's quite passive too, so I want to make sure it was something in zone. Just give myself a chance to get it done right there. So pretty cool. I tried to play it off, but started smiling off the field. So
were you thinking about it right before that last pitch?
Yeah, like I said, that last pitch, the crowd started to get loud, and I knew I struck out the 2 guys prior, but I realized I don't think I'd been out of the zone that inning yet. So just gave it a good rip, and got the result we were looking for.
Are you aware of how rare Immaculate innings are?
I am, yeah. I think I watched Chris Martin do it with the Braves in 2019, maybe. I've seen all that. I've seen a couple, but it is extremely rare, and it's going to be something pretty cool for me.
He's just so happy.
I've never seen him
happier.
He's
just so happy.
Yeah,
I love
so
it.
good.
Oh, man.
It's so Canadian.
I love it.
So happy. I'm thrilled for him. You know what I mean? I really am.
And Noah, his hair is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Who sculpted his hair?
The Immaculate comb over.
Immaculate hairdo is what we got going on.
More impressive than the inning itself.
Oh, God. I mean,
unbelievable.
It's just amazing. Again, March 30th, now 2026, mark it down, the 4th time in Major League Baseball history a pitcher has thrown an Immaculate inning. Fun stuff. Fun fact. Wade Miley did it on October 1st, 2012 versus the Rockies, and Randy Johnson did it on August 23rd, 2001, very important year, against the Pirates. Now, the reason why this is a fun fact is both of those Immaculate innings, the one by Miley and the one by Johnson, featured a pitcher hitting.
Ooh.
So the only true Immaculate innings here are by Byung-Hyun Kim and now Michael Soroka, because those are the only 2 Immaculate innings where they truly faced 3 hitters on that. So there you go.
I wasn't expecting to throw shade at Randy Johnson today.
Nope. Yeah, especially on a day like this.
Yeah,
On
not
a
the
day
guy
like
I
this.
would throw shade on.
Yeah, no, I don't. I don't. Throw
He was there
shade.
today.
Yeah,
He was, yeah. He's a very intimidating man.
He is awesome, and
He's
I mean,
a wonderful human being. Super nice once you get to know him, talk to him. Still Randy Johnson.
what I love.
He's still Randy Johnson.
What I do love about him is how he will profess himself how much of a jerk he was when he was pitching. Like he will tell you don't talk to me on game day when it's my turn to pitch. Like that's just it. So again,
And as a photographer, I love
stuff.
like he has never talked to me about anything but my camera.
Oh, I'm sure he loves your photography.
Oh my gosh,
I'm
yes.
sure that there's a bonding thing there. Just like me and Jerry P bonded in the elevator over his Silver Slugger Award. I'm going to try to fit that in here as many times as possible. But
for the rest of the season.
by the way, it is Mailbag Monday. I know we're going to maybe get to that. So I just wanted to preface this with drop your mailbag questions in the chat. We're going to do it this way since we didn't have a lot of time to get it out there. And we will try our best to answer them here before the show wraps up. But we do have to talk about the bullpen, which I don't want to do. It's awful. It's terrible. It was as bad as it could have possibly been. Maybe not. Maybe like losing the game is as bad as it could have possibly been. But this felt bad. But like just watching Joe Ross and Ryan Thompson, I was about to say Ryan Nelson, struggle the way they did. Ryan Thompson seemed like he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. And I know that's an old-timey phrase that I shouldn't be bringing up in this modern age, but he couldn't hit the strike zone if his life depended on it. And not only that, but he was also being completely thrown off because some sort of movement, some sort of part of his delivery, the umpire was determining was a balk. So they had a runner move twice on 2 balks during Ryan's, outing out there, and he's just already struggling to find the strike zone. So it's
he was flustered for sure and very uncharacteristic. That's not Ryan Thompson, right?
No.
Very uncharacteristic. But we want to talk about the bullpen. I'll be honest, I don't really know if there's that much to talk about other than it was just bad, man.
They stink.
It was bad. And see, not as a whole, right?
That's what
Kevin
I'm saying.
Ginkel looked great.
We do this. We do this to the bullpen.
Taylor Clark looked great.
Juan Murillo came in and luckily stopped the bleeding.
And somehow stops the bleeding. Paul Sewald looked like I'm just gonna say it. Listen, I'm gonna say it. That looks like 2023 Paul Sewald. Is it too early to say that that's who it is?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But this is a team. This is a team he was on. This is a team he was on.
Yes.
So it's like,
velocity's up. Deceptive velocity, deceptive stuff. He's missing barrels. He looked like Paul Sewald. That said, listen, okay, I am never going to disrespect a Major League Baseball player. I've worked in this industry for too long to not respect what they do.
Get out. Just get out. Take a chair. Go.
Joe Ross didn't look the best.
Stop it! Stop it right now! Absolutely not. Joe Ross was a goddamn dumpster fire out there. I have never seen a pitcher not be able to be effective at all. That was incredible. 6 runs in 2/3 of an innings, 5 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout. It was awful. And I just couldn't believe that it transferred right over to Ryan Thompson, who was not able to register a steal out.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing for me about the Joe Ross thing is I don't think he's going to be a very big part going forward.
No.
To me, it's he's. I don't like saying things like this. I'm gonna say it. I don't like saying things like this, but it does sort of feel like a stopgap until the lefties, the young lefties are ready to go.
It's not a stopgap until then. It was basically the fact that Brandon Garcia was so bad that they could not put him in the bullpen, and they determined that Joe Ross had a better spring than their other options. He had experience. Plus, he's not like a young piece that if you have to do something with him, it's good. Like they don't feel like it's going to hurt them to DFA Joe Ross if it doesn't work out. So it's easier to put him in early here in the season and allow him to eat up some innings and then turn to your young arms when you see that they've kind of developed and figured some things out at a AAA or not. I won't say AA level, but at a AAA level. But it's already hard enough in this organization to ever determine that your pitchers are developing because of Reno. But what I will say is that a 32.40 ERA gets you DFA'd. Being ineffective gets you DFA'd. And this team last year at some point adopted like this shorter leash where they were not going to allow these guys to hurt them. They were cutting guys, they were signing guys, they were calling guys up. They had 17 different pitchers close out a game or attempt to save for this organization last year. So it's, it's one of those things that this is not working with Joe Ross. And I understand, like I said, Torey wanting to leave him out there, even though that things were going bad, just because it still wasn't that bad. But my God, like that performance, and so far all of his performances during the regular season have stunk. And that's really it. Now,
well, Derek, I did want to ask you something. Now, I know that you frequently play the game MLB The Show.
yes.
And when you create a player in MLB The Show, there's a created player name that pops up. Are you familiar with this name?
Yes.
It's Joe Random.
Yeah.
I'd like to start a petition. We call it Joe Ross.
Okay.
And it looks like Joe Ross.
Okay.
Because I never want to see this guy suit up for my team again.
Right.
Let's make him a creative
Let's just make
player
him
in
a
MLB The Show. He's that random of a guy. Joe Random, Joe Ross.
Yeah.
Dress for less.
I mean, Cool Bro says, maybe I'm being a Torey apologist, but where is he supposed to go with no lefties? Definitely somewhere else. What the problem with Joe Ross was is that outing turned on him, and there was no Ryan Thompson up getting warmed up. There was no pitcher getting warmed up. It just felt like Torey was going to let the game be lost or be won by Joe Ross being out there.
I will play devil's advocate on
and
this.
having an 8-0 lead is not something you're thinking about right away.
It is 8-0, and how many of those runs were with 2 outs? Right, you're not expecting an absolute implosion with 2
for
outs.
him
At
to
some
not
point,
be able to get that
at some
final
point,
out. But it happens to this team
as
a lot.
horrible as the Tigers looked today, as terrible as their at bats looked, you expect them to run into an out at some point, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And just today, and it hasn't been Joe Ross's season so far. And I'm very careful to put too much blame on players because I know what goes into it, and I know whatever. But it was not a good look today.
I mean, again, though, waiting until the lead has been cut in half before you even have a guy getting warmed up in the pen, that's where I have a problem. And that's where I've had a problem historically with the way that Torey runs his bullpen. Torey refuses to contingency plan. Like, in some cases, he's brought it up that he's like trying to show that he believes in that person. Like, he doesn't want them to second guess themselves because they look over and see now that Ryan Thompson or Juan Murillo is warming up. But my God, this is.
Do you remember
this
when
is baseball?
They're
Like,
grown-ass men.
This is grown. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're grown-ass men.
Okay, they are human beings, though, right? Like, there is a mental side of baseball. Do you remember back in the day when the Chase Field bullpen phone would like echo through?
Oh yeah. Oh,
like,
it was loud as hell.
What kind of like mental game is that playing? Like, I get it. It's hard when you're out there struggling and oh god, they're double barrel action out in the bullpen. It's hard, man. It's hard to reset, and I get it. They're professional baseball players. They should be able to handle this. But at the same time, it is a very, very mental game, and it's very easy to lose that.
You're right. But the problem is that Torey can't manage this team. Like, he's always worrying about like egos and doing all of that stuff, right? Like, I mean, that's just that right there seems like basic management to me, especially considering that, the 2 runs scored pretty fast. Like, yes, you're right. There was a point where they had 2 outs and then they continued to score with 2 outs and he could never seem to get that final out. But man, did things just turn quickly to a point where you would just like to see a little bit more decisive, quicker action. And that's something that they're going to need to do in order to win baseball games. They just lost 2 games by 1 run to the Dodgers, and in a series where out of all of the innings played, they did a good job of outplaying the Dodgers for a lot of that series, and the result is 3 losses. So
yeah, and that's sort of been the story of this season, right? 1 or 2 big innings a game.
Yeah,
and that's it.
The big inning is what ruins it for this team. But
well, and conversely, the bullpen honestly has been pretty good outside of 1 inning in every game. That's the part that's difficult
and
as
it's
well.
A different guy every time.
Is that it's hard to pinpoint blame on one particular person and be like, wow, this guy sucks. Obviously, Joe Ross had the worst performance of anyone this whole year so far, but like in the other games, Ginkel gave up 2 runs. It wasn't like it was a disastrous Kevin Ginkel performance. It lost us a game though. So it feels like the bullpen is finding a way to lose us games. I think it got attributed to Ginkel in one of those games. No,
I think one of the runs was Ginkel's.
Regardless,
he blew
even in that instance, Juan Murillo was blamed for it, and the bullpen was blamed for it. And realistically, that was a game where the Diamondbacks needed score more than 2 runs.
I was just going to say that for me, it's funny you bring up Torey. We're obviously talking about the players, but it's Mike Hazen. It's a Mike Hazen thing. This is what Mike Hazen decided to invest in the bullpen this year, and then this is what we get to live with all season long. So if the bullpen continues to be the thing that loses you games, there's one particular person that deserves the blame in that circumstance, and it's the guy who didn't invest in the bullpen. And I'm getting that out here early so that everybody knows in Game 4, I'm saying this is Mike Hazen's fault if the bullpen stinks, not Torey Lovullo's.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But
even though I agree with your mismanagement tonight,
you got to manage it.
Yeah, I agree with you on tonight. I mean? Yeah,
like and again, the bigger problem here is the Diamondbacks used 7 relievers tonight to get the job done
in a game that was at 1.8
to nothing, and a game where your starter was dominant. So that is what is painful about this. But we're not going to focus on the bad tonight. We're focusing on the good, and we're focusing on this game being so good that we're giving out 2 King Snakes. That's right. Michael Soroka, you get a King Snake because you deserve it, my friend. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, historic night, 10 Ks, the most by a starting pitcher ever in a debut in an Arizona Diamondbacks uniform, 0 earned runs, and an immaculate inning. A lot of history being made by this guy. So again, shout out to Michael Soroka for being an absolute beast and being exactly what the team needed. Maybe, like I said, maybe the only criticism would be like a little bit more length would be kind of nice. But like you said, when you're throwing 10 strikeouts through 5 innings, you're probably thrown a lot of pitches. And both teams did that tonight. In fact, what do we have? Like 175 pitches thrown by the Diamondbacks
There
tonight?
were so many.
Oh my God. It was
So
insane.
many.
So many pitches thrown tonight by this team. So again, that's where things could be a problem down the road. An overly taxed bullpen that already isn't very good.
That's what happened last year, right?
Yeah.
We talked about it the first game. That's exactly what happened. An overly taxed bullpen early in the season is what led to sort of the bullpen woes last year, and a little afraid, starting to get a little concerned that's going to be an issue now.
What I do like is that not only do we have the reinforcements that are eventually returning, but those are a little bit ways off. But we have guys, again, like Brandon Garcia had some weirdly bad outings considering how they were sandwiched between some pretty good outings by him during spring. And I don't necessarily hold spring results in the highest regard, so it's hard for me to think that he's washed because of what his spring, what happened there in spring. But I feel like Brandon Garcia will be called up. I think that we'll see.
And the stuff's always been there for him. I'm not worried about Brandon Garcia's
stuff. Him and Philip Abner couldn't be more like night and day. But Philip Abner is just oddly successful. He's just I still think of that moment where he debuted against the Dodgers and struck out Ohtani and Freddie Freeman in his first
and
inning
then went
pitch.
and if I remember right, the Brewers the very next game who
rocked him.
Finished the season with the best record in all of baseball.
Yeah. But I will say that again, there's Cade Stroud. I believe someone brought him up in the chat. There are guys that could definitely be right back up here as a replacement to Joe Ross, or just again, as this bullpen gets overly taxed, just a new fresh arm that's added to the pen because they are going to desperately need it. But
and before we get too far into the whole bullpen thing, I get it, right? It's frustrating. One thing we got to remember, the bullpen on opening day or game 4 is going to be completely different from the bullpen that you get.
Especially this bullpen.
And especially under Mike Hazen's tenure, right? The bullpen changes. It's going to be completely different from the bullpen at the All-Star break, and the bullpen at the All-Star break is going to be completely different from what it is going into September.
The only problem is we need to have a good enough record by that time where the season is not over because this bullpen destroys it.
It's like they said, the season cannot be won in April,
but you can certainly
be
lose
lost.
It.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So the Diamondbacks just have to be careful. And again, tonight was a step in the right direction. I also do like the fact, as crazy as this sounds, stick with me on this one, that it wasn't an 8-0 win, because that is kind of just such a hard pivot from the Dodger series to where you don't really know what this team is. We know what's wrong with this team. And it's not to say that we don't have good pieces here that Torey can focus on, but we've already seen how quickly, the bullpen, which we knew was going to be bad, can be really bad. And in this game, it was just a quick reminder that an 8-0 game became 8-6 like that. And it didn't seem like there was much the Diamondbacks could do to stop it at the time. Right. So anyway, Noah's in the chat being the exact kind of person I've warned all of you Noah was, and none of you listened to me. So he's there, and we're going to have to read his super chat because he made it for me to read. He says, $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Noah. He said, for Derek to read, wah, 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 boom, baby, Dubski's ready to roll. Bang, 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 boom, 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 baby. Woo! Throw the coaster off the table. I don't have the coaster on the table, but I'll throw... No, I'm not going to throw Lourdes.
There we go.
All right. But we also got I'm tripped out, says Soroka slurred ball.
Is that like a voodoo?
Was
type of
definitely
situation?
right. He looked great tonight. Also, I did meet the dog that has Lourdes hair. Wonderful guy. Cool Bro says, shout out to Taylor Clark for bouncing back. Great point. Taylor Clark, another guy that the Diamondbacks, like I said earlier, was really good this spring. Had that 4-run inning against the Dodgers. And, again, when he even was coming into the game, I had my butterflies in my stomach considering what he just did in his last outing and how close this game was. So
I think the difference with Taylor Clark is he has the history to back it up.
Yeah, no, that's
right?
true. Very much.
Like,
so.
It looked like a fluke in LA, right? You know what Taylor Clark's going to bring. And he bounced back. That's what winning teams do, right? We'll go back to the Ildemaro Vargas home run. That's what winning teams, that's what good teams do. They bounce back from adversity like that. And it was really impressive to see, honestly. Like, would we have rather a 9-0 win?
That's what that Talking Snake says. Not hearing Derek out on this one. 8-0 would have been a lot better.
Absolutely. But this is a team, like, if you're forced to win games like this, then you might as well win games like this, right?
I will say this, though. I will say that, again, the point I was trying to make is like it's a good wake-up call, and it requires this team to continue to try to improve and to take a look at itself. Right, you're not wrong. Like 8-0, 9-0 would have been better, right? But I think early on in the season, what we want is to see this team continue to evolve. And if things like this go their way, then they think everything's fine when it's really not.
I would much rather have this wake-up call in Game 4.
Yeah, that's what
than in July.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting to for sure. So
listen, I'm not saying it was good.
Yeah,
nobody's here saying it was good, but. I would much rather have this game now than in July or August.
Yeah.
So I guess get it out of the way. A win's a win, and learn how to win close games like this.
You're not wrong. Well, we're going to take a quick break. On the other side of this break, we're going to take a look at the numbers, and I'm going to scream about those goddamn ribbon boards that they put up because they blocked me from seeing the Legends race, and I need to have a talk with someone. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching the PHNX Diamondbacks show. Well, I love Pure Edibles, and I've said Pure Edibles are versatile for nights like this, right? Like, great night, great mood. I'm pumped. I don't know how I'm going to get to sleep. So probably going to be up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But thanks to Pure Edibles, they have a sleep edition gummy that will help me get to sleep. And it's wonderful. It tastes delicious. They have a wide variety of flavors and candies that can get you where you're going, whether it's gummies, hard candies, chews, soft candies. They have their version of Starburst that they call Kicks, and new stuff they're coming out with all the time. Plus, they have a collaboration with one of my favorite breweries in the state, Mother Road Brewing Company, and they bring you the delicious Tower Station IPA in an all-in-one THC device. Same piney hops, same citrus notes, but now available in a delicious THC all-in-one vape. So make sure to check out all that Pure Edibles has to offer. You can go find yourself some Pure Edibles products from one of over 130 dispensaries across Arizona. And you guys know Game Time is the place to go see games like we just saw tonight. Get your tickets from Game Time and get them for less. MLB season is here. We got 2 more games here against the Tigers and then a 4-game set against the Braves. So there's no reason for you to not come out to Chase Field and support these guys. You can chant safe. You can chant all sorts of fun stuff. And
see
you can
the
do
All-American Rejects on Saturday?
That's that too. And you can do it all for less through Game Time. Game Time app gives fans an amazing experience, very easy to use. Very aesthetically pleasing, but also helps you get to where you're going faster. They got zone deals where you can pick an area of the ballpark you want to sit. They'll find you a deal in that zone. They'll also just simply find you the best pick in the entire stadium and show you where that is as well. You can see what your view is going to be from your seats. You can also see what you're going to pay with all fees included. No surprises at checkout over there at Game Time. So take the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets with Game Time today. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHNX for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, create an account, redeem code PHNX for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Damon, what time is it?
Game time?
Game time. Damon, see, if Noah's still watching, I told you, Noah, yours are better than Damon's.
What
What does he do?
Oh, Noah brought it. I'm just saying he brought it. I don't know what to tell you, but
do I not bring it for like 99% of the show?
99% of the show, but I can tell.
Sure, Noah can have that over me.
12:28 a.m. My voice is almost gone completely. I hear your enthusiasm waning, and it is what it is.
I'm still going, baby.
Danielle's still
Let's
pumped.
go.
Danielle's pumped. But let's take a look at the numbers from tonight's game. Of course, these are fun to look at. Diamondbacks out hit the Tigers 11-10, which feels like it should have been way more than that. Runners in scoring position. Diamondbacks had 16 opportunities. They only converted 3 of those. 3 for 16 with runners in scoring position. Tigers were 4 for 10. Both teams had 5 extra base hits, and both teams nearly had identical expected batting averages at 294 for the Diamondbacks and 295 for the Tigers. Kind of unbelievable, right? And then immaculate innings, just 1. And it was
last I
Diamondbacks.
checked, the Tigers didn't have any.
Nope, not a single
Losers.
one, believe it or not. I think it was the 117th immaculate inning, something like that, in Major League Baseball history. Fascinating.
Crazy.
Fascinating.
Crazy. And I've seen 2 of them.
Yep. Oh, you have?
Yeah, I was at
You
Wade
said the
Miley's.
Wade Wiley one?
Yeah, I was at Wade Miley's.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, I will say, though, that the people at the ballpark got a fun game. They got a fun thing to watch, but maybe their view might not have been so great. As many of you may or may not know, the Diamondbacks installed new high-definition ribbon boards around their upper level of the stadium behind home plate, and they are high definition, they are bright, they are colorful, they are gorgeous. And as you can see here, they also prevent me from seeing the Legends race. This is what my view looks like
Important stuff.
from the press box. Well, no, more importantly, look at that. Like, I cannot no longer see, though this is from the 300 section.
Yeah, that one's not great.
Yeah, so
That's
as you
very
can
not
see here,
great.
the metal rope, I guess you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, wire, that the wire that they have there that's like protective in there allows you to see through that wire and see the full field. And I will say that this is a little bit skewed view. I was just kind of sitting down and like slumping. Like, you can sit up and move a little bit forward and see the full stadium. So I'm not going to act like that was, that. But Damon, if we could put the one back up from the press box, please. I just wanted to point this out. And again, this is just me venting about my own personal experience, but I'm sure other fans felt very similar to this. My view now, like, I can no longer see when I'm sitting in my seat the Tigers bench or who's on deck. That's what you're seeing there. Like, again, I see plenty of the field, but there's just things that are so unnecessarily blocked now due to this ribbon board, and it sucks, man. It sucks.
And it sounds like a small complaint, right? But it's a big deal, right? When you're doing your job, you're trying to see who's on the bench. You're trying to see like what movements go. Right. It's a big deal. Like, it is actually a very big deal.
And I'm just saying, like, it's at the very least, it doesn't block the Diamondbacks bench, which is what I'm focused on and what I'm usually looking at. But it doesn't mean that there aren't things that we take away from seeing who the Tigers are subbing in or who's coming into the on deck circle or anything like that. And plus, as I said earlier, I don't get to see the Legends race. I have to stand up to watch Mark Grace lose. That is bullshit.
Man,
and
you missed a
refuse
doozy
it.
today too. Randy's a winner, man. He's a winner.
Yeah, Randy winning today made a lot of sense. That's for sure. But again, I know that Nick Pecoro wrote an article about this. It doesn't appear these boards are going anywhere. So I guess I just am kind of baffled by this decision. I'm baffled by the lack of awareness that this was going to change the view of fans. In the press box, they had to move the operators for the pitch clock and for the scoreboard and stuff that were down there in the front row on the right.
Yeah,
because they cannot see the full field.
Not ideal.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
Like, they're now sitting up in a different section. So it just, it sucks. I just think it kind of sucks. And I think the thing that, again, that baffles me is like the lack of knowing that this was going to happen. Like that this was going to block the view.
It reminds me of the Cardinals when they put the suites on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And like, as a photographer, they were like, oh yeah, everybody's fine. And then you get there, oh no, there's no room. We can't have photographers anymore.
Right.
Something that
and they're like, we don't care.
Yeah, and just kind of thinking of after the fact.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it because you invested a lot of money into it.
I mean, Sean's right. And the AC isn't fixed yet either. And let me tell you, this guy was hot. tonight. This guy was hot. We can't have higher chairs in the press box, and I can't reach my computer.
Full disclosure, we
can't
almost
just fix these problems this way.
we almost just made the thumbnail fix the damn AC.
Yeah, we really did. We really did. Like pulling the curtain back, that's what I wanted to call it. Piece of Yoshi is right, by the way. One of the ribbon boards already got smacked by a foul ball and broke.
True.
The one directly behind, right behind home plate, and it was like right in the middle of the Arizona A2 on top of all of that. So yeah, no, let's I don't know. They're not going anywhere. They've spent too much money on them. They're not going to remove them. And I don't think that there's any way that they can like move them either.
And I will say from the stands, look pretty good.
Yeah.
They look pretty good.
Shut up. You're right. They did. The advertisements look good. You guys got to pay more for advertisements now. That's the way this works. But speaking of paying more for ads, we're going to take a quick ad break. And then when we come back, let's answer some Mailbag Monday questions
Jesus
real fast
Christ.
before we get out of here. Or not.
Derek.
Yeah, it's 12:30 at night. I know. Let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll get out of here soon. Don't you worry. But you're watching the PHNX Diamondback show. All right. Well, Bet365, of course, wants to make games like this more fun, and they want to make the experience for new users even more fun. This is the best time of the year. Opening day, playoffs, we got March Madness going on, everything great, Final Four. This is a sports fan's fever dream. So to get in on it, Bet365 wants to give you one of their best offers ever. For new customers, you can bet $10 and get $365 in bonus bets. That's right. New users, all you got to do is sign up, make a bet of $10, and you will get $365 in bonus bets. Win or lose, it's the perfect party favor. Check out Bet365 again, especially with the live in-game betting during baseball games. And don't forget, you are a winner when your team goes up in baseball games by 5 runs, regardless of the outcome of the game. So if the Diamondbacks would have blown this one, you would still be a winner, regardless of the way you feel inside. So make sure to check out Bet365, where winning is everything. Download the app today and use code PHNX365 at sign up. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Please gamble responsibly. Must be present in AZ. $10 deposit minimum deposit required. Bonus bet wager excluded from returns. New customers only. 21 and over only. Time limits, minimum odds, and terms and conditions apply. In-app only. Void where prohibited. And Shady Rays, of course, wants to help you during the summer. Keep your eyes protected. They have some amazing sunglasses. They have some beautiful frames, and their optics are crystal clear polarized lenses that will block the sun and make everything look more pretty, especially if you get those super polarized lenses that they got over there. But of course, the biggest part about Shady Rays is that they have the craziest lost and broken replacement plan in all of eyewear. If you lose your Shady Rays or break them even on day one, they got you covered. And you don't have to worry about going without sunglasses. They'll get you out a new pair in no time. And again, it doesn't matter whether you're going out, whether you're like me, you just leave them everywhere you go, or again, if you're just kind of unlucky and you might just lose them in an Uber one time. Shady Rays is eyewear that has your back. So go on over to shadyrays.com and use our code of PHNXSR for 40% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. All right. Well, again, Damon says no mailbag.
No,
Monday.
we can do quick mailbag.
Damon says no mailbag Monday.
I just don't think you realize how late we are into this.
I don't. I'm
We're an hour and
delusional.
I'm sorry. I thought we were excited.
I'm sorry. I thought we were talking baseball.
We were having fun talking
Oh,
ball with
got
my
you.
boys.
So you guys have been here for hours.
A long time. Maybe not
How
as
long have you guys been at the office? I'd love to know, Danielle. Here to Derek.
Hey, I remember those days,
Yeah,
man. I remember those days. I'm not
watching
complaining.
baseball.
That's what I
We were
thought.
at the yard at like 2 o'clock.
That's
all
what I thought.
Well, you know what we do around here on Mondays. David, let's go to the mailbag.
Mailbox, always something interesting in my mailbox. I try to get to everything in my mailbox, and then once in a while there's a letter that makes me go wow, wow. My mailbox.
You know, some of us just love ball.
Put the bat
Some
down.
of us just love
You're
ball.
scaring people in the chat. All right.
I loved ball for an hour and 7 minutes. I think that's when I lost my love for the game.
Let's bang these out, Damon, so you can go home and we can all get some sleep. Sean wants to know if there's a post-game show tomorrow. Yes, Sean, there is a post-game show tomorrow, so make sure to join us
Thank
for
God.
that.
If there was a 12 p.m. show.
Oh, we'd be dead. We'd be dead. In fact, post-game shows all week long. No, we'll do a 12 p.m. show during that 4-game set against the Braves. So we'll be at 12 p.m. on Thursday. But besides that, join us late hour after the game all week long. This is where we'll be. What else did we got there, Damon?
I don't know exactly. I mean, we have Ryoma send in a couple of mailbags
Sure.
here. Is our bullpen worse than some AAA teams, guys?
I mean,
No.
no.
I think it's a tongue-in-cheek joke.
Well,
Ryoma knows ball.
Here's what I will say. I mean, it's not an unfair question. Like, I do think that with the youth movement we've seen around baseball and how exciting some of these young players are. I mean, I know a lot of them are position players. It felt like last year was maybe a little bit more of the like young pitchers kind of ascending and making their debuts and breaking out. But I don't know, man. I will say that our bullpen is bad. And I think that there's plenty of pieces in it that are good. And I think that, like we said, it's going to adapt and change throughout the year. So the hope here is that the Diamondbacks just don't let any one reliever hurt them for too long if that reliever continues to struggle, right? So if you see more of this from Joe Ross, I don't want to see any more Joe Ross. I still believe in Ryan Thompson. I think he was just kind of asked to get up fast and get warm fast.
Yeah, he was put in a really tough situation.
Yeah. And yeah, that's not easy to do,
The
right?
box got in his head too, you could tell.
Yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely.
Totally.
Did you guys see the box?
Yeah.
I didn't see either of the box.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the Dbacks weren't happy with both of them. They were showing
Was
on
it
the
that he didn't come
broadcast.
set?
They were saying that it was like all kind of fluid.
Yeah.
And that, like,
Okay.
he does that.
But
kinda,
that's his natural
he does
motion.
That, he does that hip thing when
Yeah.
he gets set, where it's kind of like a swivel, and then he goes forward. And I think that they were saying that he wasn't necessarily getting set at any point.
Okay, yeah, because I was watching from a place that didn't announce it, but my thinking was he didn't come set. But you know, that's such a like thing in baseball. Like I remember going to games and sitting as a fan and yelling like, "He's not coming set." And it's just, you know, it's like a carry in basketball. You just don't call it,
It's
right?
like, or like the neighborhood play when you're rounding second base
are you
and you didn't
like
actually touch
yeah,
the
like
bag.
are you really like giving him 180 feet because you didn't think he came set?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
whatever, Bill Miller.
Yeah.
Did we play the Torey answer on the box, Derek?
Oh, I don't believe we
Because
did.
we have Torey here on the box,
Yeah.
and he kind of explains what the Dbacks were thinking in that moment.
There we go. Here's Torey talking about the box.
What's going on with the ball calls?
I don't know. I'll probably hear a little bit more as we get a chance to hear what Bill Miller had to say. I think he was calling it from first base, and I guess he was saying that the hips were still moving and the arms were still moving as he was starting his delivery home. You don't see it very often. Maybe a little bit of a distraction to Ryan, but he didn't have a typical RT outing, so something was bothering him. I think the box kind of got into him a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you, I've been really impressed with Ryan Thompson so far this regular season. So this was just hard to watch. I think that's where it really got difficult to watch this game.
The box really rattled him, and honestly, I felt the booth rattled him too. He was not the same. That's not Ryan Thompson.
Yeah,
and
that was more of Joe Ross's booze. It was just
absolutely,
we are
just
sick of this
frustration, right?
Yeah.
And I'm absolutely not blaming the fans. It was frustrating for sure. But it was ugly. It was not fun to watch. But I'm not concerned about Ryan Thompson in the slightest bit. I've said it a million times. That's not who he is.
Yeah, this was a difficult predicament to put him in, but overall, I don't think that this is who he is for sure. All right, I think we had a question from Emily Williams, Damon.
Yeah, we did. Emily Ryoma wanted to actually ask if we're going to do this closer by committee thing all year, because it seems like guys do better when they know what their roles are.
No, you're absolutely right. I think for all intents and purposes, Paul Sewald is the closer.
I think he showed that today.
Yeah,
I would
I agree.
imagine after today's performance, and two, just how the bullpen has performed throughout this season, I think Paul Sewald is going to be your designated closer at this point.
I agree.
And Derek,
piece of Yoshi had asked who the setup men were, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess. I mean, Ginkel and Thompson.
I mean, I don't know. I would maybe. I think
right now it feels like Murillo is the setup man. Now, is that who you want going forward? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, they did have him in the eighth inning yesterday,
and that's kind of been his role so far this season. I love Juan Murillo's stuff.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think
I always have.
We all love his stuff.
It's just about him being able to control it and limit the walks.
Can he throw strikes? Can he command that plus fastball?
I'll live and die with a guy like that though, over a guy that throws soft as hell and is throwing like strikes for a living.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Give me a dude who who's going to make some swing and miss and who's going to be a little bit more high variance like that. Because if it hits, then it's going to hit really.
And it's important to have that in the back end of your bullpen as well.
Yeah.
You can have guys like that in your rotation, in your middle in your middle relief, but in your back end of the bullpen, you need guys who are going to blow you away. That's just how it is.
I was still kind of taken aback by Ginkle coming in as early as he did in this game too.
A little surprised
right,
there,
in the
but I think
inning.
the plan there was to have Taylor Clark be the other setup man.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see that going forward as well.
I agree. I think they still believe in Clark despite that 4th inning thing. I like Juan Murillo. I mean, honestly, I also kind of like Andrew Hoffman, who they were putting in late inning situations throughout spring, and Jonathan Loizaga, aka
Lasagna.
Johnny Lasagna. Who knows how he factors in? He's been extremely good for this team. He's only allowed 1 hit so far in 2 1/3.
He got a pretty decent ovation as well too.
Yeah. We're Johnny Lasagna.
We know
fans
ball. We
Yeah.
know ball here, man.
Before we move on from the bullpen thing, I did tell Danielle a story from the broadcast, Eric, that I had to share with you as well.
Oh, I want to hear it.
Apparently, Paul Sewald would tell everybody that would listen that this offseason that if he's hitting 93, he's one of the best pitchers in baseball.
Excuse me?
Again. And I just was taken aback because I was like, I'm sorry, when I must have missed when you were one of the best pitchers in baseball here, brother.
He maxed out at 92.3 tonight.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. He's throwing 93.
Just saying.
And
is he the best pitcher in baseball?
I mean, listen,
again?
do you want your closer to be like, yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, guys,
True.
I'm a pretty good pitcher.
No,
I guess
but-
I'm okay.
but
You want your closer to go in and like, I'm the best pitcher on the planet, baby.
We were
I'm gonna
just
lock
talking
these
about
guys
this
down.
with Michael
Skubal,
Soroka, right?
Skeens, Sewald. You know how it
You
is.
know how it
The
is.
best pitchers on planet Earth.
Oh God! All
Hey,
right.
man, don't talk about my guy Paul like that. Yeah, quick tangent. I remember when they first traded him, I was working for the team, and they had a little get together for season ticket holders. And it was right after he blew that save in Minnesota, where he gave up 3 runs without getting it out. And the first thing he did, he walked in, he opens the door, he goes, "Guys, I promise I'm not a bad pitcher. I promise I'm good. Like, just believe me." That's just kind of who he is. He's a confident guy, and that's what you need out of your closer.
Yeah. Well, Emily wants to know if there's any updates on Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He's fine. He's over there. I just threw him off the table. He's not dead or anything. No, Lourdes actually is supposed to be back in mid-April, and it's going to be a positive, good thing to have him back. He's probably gonna DH. Damon and I have discussed that a little bit. It would make sense. But the Diamondbacks are going to have a bit of a logjam as far as players are concerned when Merrill comes back, Lourdes comes back, and all these other guys start returning. So
Good problem to have.
it's a good problem to have, and I feel like what it should do is hopefully keeps that pressure on the guys that need that pressure kept on them, and they need to perform well, or else they know in the back of their head there's a good chance it could be them going away in one sense or another. If you're a young pitcher, you don't have to worry as much about it being a DFA situation because you're just going to be sent down if you have options. But if you're one of these other guys, like a Johnny Lasagna, like a Joe Ross, like, some of these other guys, there's a good chance that you don't perform well and you're just going to be cut from this team. So that's
Also a log jam gives you a chance to there's trades options. You can build on the bullpen, everything.
That's
So
true.
it's a great
The problem.
It's a very good problem to
It
have.
needs them. It requires them to be performing well, though,
Yes.
and that's really what we need at the end of the day. And if they are performing well, like we said, it's a good problem to have. So, Cool Bro says U of A is so losing their next game. Damon, that seems rude, but thank you for the super
And
chat.
you know what? Win or lose, Cool Bro will be on his couch with his popcorn ready, his feet up, and he'll be watching his favorite college basketball team every single March and actually April now because we've made it so deep into the tournament, like he does every single year, like the rest of ASU fans do every single year.
I'm glad
So
you're
thank
here
you,
with the
Cool
bat,
Bro.
because he's getting very honorary as we get later. Into
I'm
the
sorry,
night.
am I not supposed to respond to my team that's in the Final Four is going to lose next game
No,
with fire?
You should respond to this
Get
one
cooked,
because
Cool
this
Bro.
one was specifically for you from Noah.
For Damon, pee pee poo poo toilet fresh. Noah loves Shohei Ohtani. Wow, that's a
Wow, Noah.
bold proclamation out of
Don't
Noah.
show your face in this office tomorrow. That's That's all I have to say. But Cool Bro says the D-back swing song hit the right nerves tonight. Hell yes.
I did say to listen to it. I definitely say to listen to it.
Just had to
Objectively a bad song, but if they ever don't play it, I'm
it's
gonna
so
riot.
bad. It's so bad.
I'm gonna burn this entire city to the ground if they don't play it after a D-backs win.
100%, Danielle.
I attended a
You're so
Cubs
right
game
about
and
that.
I heard that stupid Cubs win song and I was like, yeah, that's kind of electric. I got to admit. But anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Damon, for sticking around and dealing with our BS.
I love it.
You can follow all of us on
I got a
social
second
media.
win there.
You did. Once he knew Mailbag Monday was
No,
coming.
it's you know what? That's on me. I'm a podcaster. My job's not hard. My life's not tough. And I apologize for my very small moment of weakness there, chat.
It's fine.
I'll be better and I'll grow from it. We love ball.
Is he talking about when he drafted Shohei Ohtani #1 overall? Is that what he's talking about right now? I wasn't unsure. Anyway, this show's falling apart and we're going to yell at each other after everything's done. But you can follow us on social media. I'm at Cap_caveman with a K. Danielle's at Abracadanielle. Damon is at Damon Dog with a DAWG. And we're all Damon's dogs. Bark, bark. Our show is at PHNX_Dbacks, but all roads lead to at PHNX_sports on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you guys so much for your time tonight. We love you. We'll see you back here with another post-game show tomorrow. I will try to drink as much water as I can between now and then. You guys do the same. Behave yourselves, Ryoma and Emily. And remember, kids, baseball is fun, but it's so much more fun when Michael Soroka is out there making history.
We all silly like the mayor.